welcome back to the Ponder Podcast. It's been a long time now.
Yeah, been a while.
Yeah, been a while. Well, we've been busy. Well, mostly you have been busy.
Yeah, doing, the regular vacation, summer holiday stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's what you do, even in Corona times.
Yes.
Well, but anyways, putting our digression aside, I'm Sebastian.
And I am Matthias.
We're your host for the Ponder Podcast.
Yes.
And today, to continue on our last topic, although it's been a long time, we're continuing on habits. And last time we talked about forming new habits, and today we'll be talking about handling your bad habits or addressing
Yes.
all the poor habits you might have.
That is indeed right.
Indeed, right. So, we have a few points we want to go through, and we have derived these points from the book, The Power of Habit, which addresses and deals with these issues and states very nicely.
Yeah, it's very much sort of the cornerstone to all of, what we've been talking about. It is very useful for learning about habits and just learning the ins and outs of how to address them.
Yeah, how to identify them in your daily life.
Yes.
It really is an eye-opener. And in the book, to just go right to the point, he talks about 3 states of handling your habits. Would you go through them?
Me?
Yeah. Okay, sure. Yeah, no. Somebody else in the room.
No worries. Well, the 3 stages. The first one is noticing the cue. That is sort of the pinnacle for how your habit starts.
Yeah, the thing that initiates
Yes.
the habit that you're doing.
Yes. And then there's the action, the thing you perform when it is you receive that cue, that initial cue, and then the action is what it follows that.
Yeah.
And at last, then there's the reward, what it is you get out of it, and it's sort of to keep in touch with today's theme. It is usually a bad reward, which is what is not ideal.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and these are the only 3 points. It's a very simple and bare bone analysis.
Very, very
but
simple.
It is very accurate,
Mm.
and it is pretty much just what you need to identify and locate
Yes.
the bad habits and problems you have.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, that's actually for just to try to pinpoint it a little further. Let's take an example.
Yeah. I think in the book he mentions an example of an office worker. I think it might have been himself actually, but an office worker that gets the cue of being hungry at around I think 10 or something, then goes out to the office kitchen, then grabs something unhealthy, and that's sort of the bad reward here. So maybe we can break down that example.
Yeah,
So
because
the cue.
is feeling hungry.
Yes.
Yeah. Or you could also say the cue, because there are many ways to analyze these things in a different way. The cue could also be reaching 10 o'clock.
Yeah. That's right.
And then the action is stand up and go to the cafeteria and eat some food.
Yes.
That is usually unhealthy. And the reward is... Well, what is the reward when you eat unhealthy food? It tastes good.
Yeah, and
You could call that the reward.
Sugary insulin.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get a lot of energy and dopamine pumped into you.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I think he also talked about in the book at some point that he could address the issue in a different way, because the reward he wanted was not to eat the donut or whatever he ate that wasn't so healthy. It was to get up and talk with his coworkers and just have a break. And he used the go to eat something unhealthy as an excuse to get up and have a break.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you're the reward you're seeking, or the reward you're trying to get, might be different than the actions you're taking as an excuse to get the reward. So yeah, there might be different ways to go about getting the reward you're seeking. So yeah, that's an example for that specific
Yeah.
case.
Now,
Yeah.
how would you address and have a habit like this? How would you go about changing it or analyzing it in a way that you can, create a positive outcome?
What he said in the book to do about it was to replace the second part, the action part, with something else. And he said that it was important to notice the cue and the reward you were seeking,
Yes.
and shift out the middle part, because it wasn't that the cue or the reward were inherently bad, and that you couldn't really get rid of them in the same way that you could get rid of the action part. So the goal was to remove the action part and replace it with something new. So what he said he did in the book to solve this problem was to realize that what he wanted to do was just talk to somebody else to get a break, essentially, from his work.
Yes.
So he got up and went to talk to someone instead of going to eat something.
Yeah.
And he found that he got the same gratification from doing that as he would have when going to eat something, just except he didn't eat something unhealthy, which was bad for his health long term.
Yes.
Which is how he addressed this issue.
Yeah, it's very true. Bad habits can in many ways be something that you start with in your sort of process of bettering yourself, but it can also be things that just occur whilst you're maybe in the process of bettering yourself, and then somehow these bad things seep in.
Yeah.
How would you sort of keep in track of where you're going?
How to keep track?
Maybe.
Do you mean how to notice if the habit is a bad or good thing, or just
Yeah,
generally
maybe,
realizing when bad habits occur?
Yeah.
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 I don't know how to describe how I personally notice the bad habits. It just kind of seems to happen, and obviously I don't notice all of them, but bad habits, we all know we have bad habits. So if you sit down and honestly ask yourself where you might be able to improve some habits or something about your life, if you tell yourself the honest answer, you will always have something you can find. And the only thing that's holding you back is your own willful blindness to lie to yourself about the things that you might need to improve on.
Yes. Yeah.
So the only thing I can tell you here is be honest with yourself. That's what I try to do. And even when, it's not easy to change habits, I think the most important thing to realize about this is the whole path and the whole journey is a path that swirls and wiggles all around, and you go up and down and left and right all the time. And although you try to steer clear and steer in a right and linear path, you can't help but swirl off to the side. Yeah.
It's very true.
And you just have to deal with that. I mean, sometimes you'll have a good period, you get some good habits implanted in your life, and it's doing good, and then after that it goes down a bit, you have some bad habits that occur, and then you have some time where you try to deal with that, it goes up a little again, and then you go down a little again, and you just keep going up and down, and you need the ups to have the downs and the downs to have the ups.
Yes.
But the most important thing is that generally it's going up.
Yeah.
So you go a little further up
the fact
every time you go down, and then a little further up than what you went down. So generally your life quality improves. But you have to go down to go up.
Recently I saw a podcast, or listened to a podcast with Jordan B. Peterson and his daughter, and they addressed the sort of health complications that they have had during the past 6 months or so. I don't know, have you seen that?
No, I haven't. I know they've had a lot of health complications, like in their life generally, because of Jordan Peterson's, Michaela's rare disease. And I don't really know what the specific diseases she has, but it's something about her bones and the muscles
Yeah.
that are weakened.
Yes.
And she has at least partly solved it by being on a carnivore diet. Right?
Okay.
Like she only eats meat.
That might be.
You didn't know that?
No, I did not know
Okay.
that. No, but you know the podcast. Well, I don't really feel like going into it. You can listen to it. It's very interesting. Well, there's a lot of things I didn't know. But you know the point is to sort of just I don't know highlight that something that you cannot control can happen in your life, like health complications. This, for instance, it took like 16 months. And for these 16 months, Jordan B. Peterson explained that he could not do anything. He could not, think like he usually could and, work on his books and other lectures. And these things can be a great barrier. And sort of treating this maybe as a bad habit cannot always be,
Yeah, it can be
rewarding,
harmful.
can be harmful,
Yeah.
because it's things that you cannot control, and it's things that you have to come over in order to get back on track.
Yeah.
So that, I think there can be barriers that are uncontrollable.
Yeah. Yeah, that's so right. You have to be the right amount of merciful on yourself too. Because you might just end up like, what do you call that? Punishing yourself, like hitting yourself on the back when you're not really due for punishment.
Yeah.
For what you can't properly control in the situation. I mean, I see that a lot. I mean, some people do that a lot. A lot of people do that a lot.
Yeah.
I mean, generally people, usually secretively, are very down on themselves and punishing towards themselves. Yeah. It's not rare to see people holding themselves in a very low regard.
I think generally that's okay, because my theory behind it is you can't really hold other people accountable. You can't control what other people do.
Yeah.
So I mean, you have to have someone to hold accountable, and that's often yourself.
Yeah.
But you have to be mindful that it could be harmful, being too harsh on yourself.
Yeah. But it's also because the person who not always, but mostly knows yourself best is yourself.
Yeah.
So you know all the bad things about yourself, even if you admit them or don't admit them. You know them deeply inside. And as humans, generally, we're more keen to focus on the negative aspects of many things.
Yeah.
So you just see all the bad things about yourself and you kind of forget all the good things you do too.
Yeah. Yeah, that's very unique to like humans.
Yeah. But that's what makes us better and makes us improve, but it also can make us very anxious if we don't.
Yeah, I think that's
manage
sort
it
of where
properly.
sort of depression and stress comes from, because
Precisely.
you don't see it like a deer or a dog. Well, a deer, laying in the field like, oh man, my life sucks. I don't want to get up today.
Yeah, exactly.
But that's something unique to humans.
But that's what we get when we know the future and know our vulnerability. We need to prepare and protect ourselves by bettering ourselves for the future. And you can always better yourself more for the future. It is never enough. There's always more work to be done. But you have to realize that the work you are doing, it is good enough, even if it isn't immaculate and sublime and everything that could possibly be done.
Yes.
Yeah, I mean, I struggle with this a lot. I mean, when you have a day that's poor or bad, or even just a regular day where you feel like, man, I should get a lot work done today, and you don't really measure up. You just feel like, oh crap, I didn't do enough. I only practiced for 3 hours today. It should have been like 5 hours. Like, what the hell? It's not enough. Man, I only wrote like 2 texts today, and it should have been like 4. It's just not enough. I mean, it happens so often. It happens at every point in life, and if you do it too much, it just wears down on you, and you actually make yourself worse. It's kind of the same thing with the workaholic people, or just generally very industrious people who work till their bones.
You work down to
Yeah,
their
yeah,
bare
work
bones or
till the bare
something,
bones. That's what I wanted
Yeah.
to say. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. Well, they work themselves completely down here. Yeah, and they are better off if they take a break sometimes. And that's the crazy thing to admit there is you're actually better off if you let yourself take a break.
Yeah.
Let yourself off the hook for a while.
Yes. I think, keeping yourself to the tasks at hand comes down to like willpower. And you shouldn't think about willpower as just something that you always have. You should think about it as a muscle. You can use it at will, but it weakens over time. As you use it, you get more drained and less capable of having this willpower.
Yeah, it's like
Yeah.
working out in the gym.
Yeah, it's exactly that. You lift some weights, and not like an hour later or something, you can't lift
Yeah,
as much.
exactly. You have to
the
go
day
home and
after,
relax. Yeah.
Yeah, very true. I saw this video. I believe the YouTube channel is called What I've Learned. It was about willpower, and it's very interesting. Just thinking about the key points here.
Yeah, I think I've seen that channel too,
Yeah.
and I think I've seen the
Very
video,
nice.
but it might be a while since I've seen it.
Yeah, but he mentioned how an experiment that I believe also was in the Power of Habits. It was the marshmallow experiment.
Oh yeah, I remember.
I think it was in the book.
Yeah.
And they set a marshmallow in front of kids, and if they could wait like 5 minutes or 10 minutes, then they would get 2 marshmallows. And a lot of the kids could not do that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's also a muscle that you can work and get better at it. You can get stronger at keeping this willpower.
Yeah,
And
and
then-
it's about what we talked about before about the habits. Just notice,
Yeah.
start noticing in your life when you want to take the easy route,
Exactly.
and then slowly, very slowly, start making progression towards delaying the gratification and taking the little more painful and slower route
Yes.
that might yield greater results in the future.
Yeah.
So yeah, start practicing something, just a short amount of time a day. Like you want to learn the guitar, like practice 5 minutes
Yeah.
or 10 minutes. And then, as you get better slowly and slowly, I mean, you'll naturally want to practice a bit more.
Yeah. I think
And-
something that helps
Yeah.
me sort of complete tasks is sort of removing temptations. Recently I had before the summer holiday, I had an assignment due. It was 8 pages, and I had like spent a week or so, just procrastinating. I wrote like 1 page during a week. And then one day I was fed up, and I downloaded a website blocker and just completely shut off my phone for a whole day. So and then during that day I wrote 7 pages, and that's something I never really do just because of procrastination.
Yeah.
And just not wanting to write that assignment.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, I relate to this so much. It's so true. It's one of the biggest reasons, personally, why I don't get things done is because I get distracted by so many other things.
yeah.
So when I go and I want to do some work on the PC, I just open up YouTube and then I sit and watch something else for like an hour, and then that time went by.
Yeah.
And I mean, there's so many distractions nowadays. Like from
Extremely.
the internet to the phone to PCs, all sorts of games and social media platforms.
Yeah.
There are so many things to grab your attention that, just weakens the amount of willpower you can exert on other things. It just makes it harder. And if you can minimize all these distractions, the results you can generate in the long term will greatly increase.
Yeah. It's
And
about
I mean, that's-
removing those distractions or temptations.
It's the same thing with something like food. Like if you don't have bad foods in your house, the chance that you'll eat them is so much lower.
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
going to buy
Yeah.
them and then bring them home to eat them
That's
is
just
so much harder than having them in
effort,
your
yeah.
kitchen and then going eating them. And I've also heard this one. This is a good one. When you go to buy food when you're not hungry, because then you'll not have to spend willpower
Yeah.
buying healthy foods
Mm.
and not buying unhealthy foods because you're already full.
Yes.
Yeah.
Something he mentioned in the video was, the reason why supermarkets always place like sugary goods at the cash register at like the end of the supermarket is because you walk by all these aisles with like thousands of goods to buy, and you're always making these conscious decisions, either subconsciously or just consciously, of what to buy, and then at the end of your supermarket trip you're sort of worn down and then more willing to buy these sugary goods.
Yeah. Yeah, the more impulsive foods.
They're more impulsive, yes. Yeah.
But that's so true. That's honestly one of the biggest thing I can advise. Just try to find all the things that are distracting you and slowly remove them.
Yeah.
And I'm still struggling with this immensely. I mean, I have a hard time, especially with the YouTube thing, putting that away and
Yeah.
getting to work from that.
I mean, I would strongly advise the app, the website blocker.
Yeah.
That surprisingly helped me a lot.
Yeah. It's just because when you
I like that. Yeah.
when you try to open up the website like completely instinctually
Mm.
when entering the PC, the blocker just pops up and goes, probably don't do this. And then you're just reminded, oh yeah, I
Yeah.
shouldn't do this. Yeah.
Yeah. And I remember just turning off my phone, it helped immensely, because I just during the day I just for some reason forgot that I turned off my phone, so I would go to check up and then it was completely black.
Yeah.
Like I didn't even bother like turning it on, because then I have to turn it off again.
Yeah.
So that's about just the effort to do something is well, it has to be greater than the action itself, or the
Yeah.
reward, I guess.
Yeah. Yeah. So when you increase the effort towards the gratification of
Yeah.
these generally easily high gratification, low effort tasks,
Yes.
then it becomes much less desirable.
Mm.
And then you're more likely to go practice something you're wanting to practice, or do some work you want to do,
Yeah.
or anything of the sort.
Mm.
And that'll yield a better life in the long term.
Yes.
Yes.
Well.
What is the next point? We went off on a big digression. Oh,
Should we talk about
that's
the
it.
why? I mean, I think we addressed
we
it
kind
last
of
time,
covered
yeah.
it, yeah. But we'll just mention it.
Yeah, sure. Mention it.
Yeah. This is about.
So
We talked about it just before we went to this point, but it's going to be hard, and it helps immensely if you develop a why, like a strong, solid why you can post on the wall and strongly and firmly believe in. That'll get you through the rough times when you have to do something you don't want to do.
Yeah.
And that why is completely up to you and what you want to accomplish in life, but it has to be something a little more transcendent or spiritual, something that is not solely material. If you know what I mean about that.
Yeah.
Yeah, something not something like I am doing this to have a yacht.
Yeah.
Yeah. It has to be something like I am doing this so my family and my children will have the most successful or peaceful,
Prosperous
loving,
or-
prosperous
Prosperous life.
upbringing and life. Yeah,
Yes,
something
livelihood.
something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah, or I'm doing it to have the most
Feel better about
yeah,
myself. Or
make-
something. If you
yeah,
want to go
yeah.
to the gym or something.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Or make the biggest impact on the largest amount of people, or have the most people feel good about themselves.
Mm.
Yeah, it could be anything. And it probably takes a little time to develop it, because it
Yeah.
has to be refined a bit. But it's important to have one. Why you do what you do.
Yes.
It will help you through all the hard times when going gets rough and you need something to believe in.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah. And then we wrote, remember to be mindful and patient with yourself. Take it slow and change your habits one at a time. Yeah. and that we talked about before too.
Yeah.
Just
You know,
don't rush on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If you feel bad for like not doing anything or not doing as much as you expected, don't be too harsh on yourself.
Yeah.
Doing something is better than not doing anything.
Yeah.
Just doing that little thing a day
Yeah.
is better than than nothing. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Don't focus too much on yesterday and what has been, but focus more on what you will be
what can
tomorrow.
be, yeah.
What you can do right now and tomorrow. Focus on the future. Focus on the present. Don't focus too much on the past. I thought I had one more thing to say. That slipped my mind.
I feel like this is kind of a short episode today.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it was covered last episode.
Yeah, but it was
That's a
it
good
was
thing.
very mindful and thoughtful. I think.
Yeah. There was a lot of realizations. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it's very very zen.
Yes.
Yeah.
French way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I like these types of discussions.
Yeah, it's like you reach something new.
Yeah, they're very wholesome.
Yeah.
All right.
Hmm.
Well, I don't think I have anything else.
Yeah, neither do I.
Yeah. No. Oh, that thing still slipped my mind. I don't know what it is.
Yeah, I guess we can go to the sign off segment and then
Yeah,
maybe
we'll see if it reaches
you'll-
my mind again.
Yeah.
All right. Okay.
Right.
Well, do. And that's it for today's topic. But we have a sign off segment,
Yes.
and this is a good one. There is something we all love, or not all of us, but all the good people.
I think a lot of people like it's just that
Yeah,
they
no, it's
don't.
gotten more popular.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, it is board games. Oh yeah. Oh man, I really like board games. It's like one of the most fun activities to do with like friends or new people you meet, or like pretty much anybody.
Family and friends. Yeah.
Yeah. Except my family doesn't really want to play board games.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's why I have you.
Yeah.
Yeah, woo! And why we have your family. You played with your mom and your dad, and
Yeah.
they actually quite frequently beat us. So
Yeah. I was beginner luck.
yeah, well, it's been like beginner's luck like 3 times.
Yes. It's sad.
Yeah, they might just be superior.
But this will sort of function as the last 2 sign-off segments where you rank them.
Yeah, we did food and movie rankings, and now we're doing
Yes.
some good board game rankings.
Yes.
So we'll just be mentioning some of our favorite board games that we recommend for people, and why we recommend them, and what kind of players they'd be for.
Yeah.
So first up on the list, one of the favorites, Dominion.
Yeah.
And this is, one of my all-time favorites. We played it very often together.
Yeah. It's almost often played game.
Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. And it's a deck building card game where the objective is to have the most victory points in your deck, and you do that by making the most coin each turn to buy the biggest amount of victory points.
Yeah. Essentially. Yeah.
So it's essentially about like sort of a construction game or a resource management, some type of that kind of game. Maybe not so much resource management.
Strategic
but,
layout.
yeah.
Sort of
Yeah.
building game.
Yeah, exactly. You have
Yeah.
to look at the cards available to buy in the tavern, and then you have to think what sort of combos you want to make and how to make the most money out of the cards you have available.
Yeah.
Yes. And that is super duper fun.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's really not that difficult to explain, especially like the base game and the various setups they have in that
Yeah. It's rather
that first
simple.
setup. Yeah. So I mean, like 1 or 2 games, people are pretty much like trained up in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very fun. I mean, it's for everybody.
Yeah. And for us, it's going through as a rendition. So we've added new game sets.
Yeah, new expansions too.
New
Yeah,
expansions.
and
and
they're
we
many
started out with
possibilities.
a base set. You always do that.
Yeah,
Yeah. And then we got intrigue and
yeah. Now we have prosperity and empires too. So yeah, and then when you get new expansions, just so many more possibilities open up. So when you get tired of playing like with the games you have or the expansions you have, you can always just add on like one more expansion, and so many more combos and potential things open up just by adding one more expansion. So that's Dominion, like one of the best games I could recommend for anybody.
It is really good.
Yeah, it is
it's
for
a game
4
for
players.
Everyone,
Yeah,
four players, man.
I think you can get some expansion or something that adds enough cards for 6 players.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah,
it's all based on, you know, the amount of coins and victory cards there.
Yeah, exactly.
Else, you know.
And then we have Thunderstone. Matthias has not played this one, but I have played it.
That's right.
This is very much like Dominion, just a bit more complicated. So if you're advanced players, I would recommend Thunderstone. But if you're like new players or like just family players who want to play with people who haven't played before or anything of that sort, I would recommend Dominion. Thunderstone is more advanced, and it's also a bit more unbalanced, I'd say.
Yeah.
But it's more flavorful, and there are many more mechanics in the game. So that makes it good. Has pros and cons, but I would generally say Dominion is better.
Yes.
Yeah. Now we've got a good one. Acquire. This one looks super boring when you just look at it like from the display case, but man, is it good. It's sort of Monopoly if you just leveled Monopoly up and like removed a lot of the chance that is in Monopoly, because Monopoly is basically it can almost run itself.
Game,
it's almost Ludo, pretty much, just with the skin on top of it.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. But this is just so much better. So I would, if you're thinking about getting something like Monopoly to play with, everybody you know, don't get that. Get Acquire instead. It is full enough of strategy that people who like strategy and are advanced thinkers, they can get a lot out of it. But it's also easy enough and self-explanatory enough that people who don't do a lot of strategic thinking generally, or just play for the heck of it, I mean, they can get a lot out of it too.
Yeah.
I mean, your dad beat us on the first try he did at the game.
Yes.
And your mom was second place.
Yeah.
So
it's very sad.
Yeah, for us it is.
Yeah,
we get
but
beat up.
It's a stock trading, market trading game.
Oh yeah, I didn't even explain what you do in the game. It's stock
that's
trading.
the base sort of purpose of the game.
Yeah, that sounds really boring, but I don't even think about that.
Buy stocks in companies.
Yeah, and then have them grow, and then you
get them bought and stuff
exactly.
like that.
Then you get money. It's about getting the most money.
Yeah,
essentially.
It's simple.
Then we've got this is a good one, but this is a very, very different one from the others. Arkham Horror. Oh, okay. This is the card game, Arkham Horror LCG card game. This is a story game, like a campaign story game.
Yeah.
Where you have a selection of cards, then you build a deck, and then you play through a story where you make decisions and play games that determine the outcome of the campaign. Then between those games, you upgrade your deck with experience points you gain from the individual scenarios.
Yes.
And it's a very good game for dedicated players, I would say. It's not a game you just whip out and play with whomever comes some Friday night. This is a game where you have a specific day of the week or a specific set of people you play with. Then you play a scenario or two like every Saturday or every second Saturday or something like that. Yeah. Because it's a campaign where you play generally 8 scenarios to finish a campaign. But it has a very good what is it you call that? Like narrative? Yeah. So you tell a story and have a meaningful impacts on the story compared to what you do in the individual scenarios and what decisions you make.
Yeah.
And that makes the game very good. But then I have the board game version of that game. I would say the board game version, Eldritch Horror. And you haven't played that, but
No, I haven't.
It's a version of the game where you essentially do the same. You're investigators in the 1920s, and you go out and explore these anomalies and horrific creatures that are about in the world.
Hmm.
Then you try to solve this mystery case to not have the world be enveloped in doom from some
Okay.
ancient
Right.
super monster. And this game only takes like, I don't know, 2 or 3 hours, and it's very good. Has a good narrative too, very good stories and scenarios in it, and yeah, you essentially travel around the world to solve all these mysteries as investigators.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's very good too. Eldritch Horror is supreme. But this is also not for completely new players, but I'd say like the medium players. Like you have some experience with board games and you want to, do something different.
Mm.
Yeah.
Something more dedicated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Seven Wonders. Seven Wonders, the original game, there's 2 versions.
Yeah.
The originals and the dual version. And the original one you can play up to 7 players. And this is, I would say it's on the same level as Dominion. I mean, it's actually pretty easy to teach to new people.
It's really good.
And
Yes.
it has some good strategy. Yeah. I'm not really sure how to further describe the game. It's about having a specific wonder to your board, and then you can build the wonder up through stages, and you can build other different buildings and technologies through 3 ages, where each gets more advanced.
Mhm.
And then it's about having the most victory points at the end of the game. Yes,
Yeah.
that's essentially it. But it's a very good game. And then there is the dual version. And this game is even better. They made the dual version not just a bit better, but quite a bit better than the original one, I think. Even though the original Seven Wonders is good, the dual version is at least much more strategic, and despite the strategic implements of the game, still very easy to teach to new people. So if you have some significant other or just a good friend you want to challenge to a game, Seven Wonders Duel is just a game for you, I think. Now we got, one of my favorites! Magic the Gathering. This is not so much a board game, but a collectible card game. And I think it's the
yeah.
best one currently out there. Although there is a new game called Flesh and Blood. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, which is also very good. It's only in the early development stages or early release stages. It's not been released in Europe yet, so I have only tried some starter decks that some of my friends have gotten. But that game seems very good. But Magic the Gathering has been established for a long time, like since early 1990s.
Yeah.
And it is a very good game. It is more for the dedicated players, this game. So you have to want to, play and build and trade with people and be a little more dedicated if you want to play this game, probably. Yeah, that's what I would recommend. If you're just going for a board game for Saturday night and it's just to have your friends over and play, I would recommend some other game. Yeah.
Mhm.
But Magic the Gathering, if you're looking for a game that you can play over a longer period of time and just collect and trade and challenge your friends to build cool decks, it's a very good one. I've played it for a long time now, and my company is even based on it. So
Yes.
yeah. D&D. Ooh,
Right.
this is a good one. Yeah, D&D is about role playing.
Hmm.
It's about telling a story through action and heroic features or feats. Yeah. I'm getting tired.
I personally have first gotten to experience this in some sort of way here. Well,
Oh
during the past couple of weeks.
man.
Yeah, whilst you have been playing for quite some time, I think.
Yeah, I've been playing
some
for
years.
3 or 4 years. I'm uncertain now. No, 4 years. I've been
Okay.
playing in a campaign for 4 years, and yeah, it's very fun, and I would
Mm.
honestly say it's helped me develop a lot of critical thinking skills and um well develop my ability to take initiative in a situation. Because role playing is about telling a story and being the heroes of the story and solving the problems presented in front of you. And I think that is a great way to tell a story. It is the thing you used to do when you're out camping in the woods and you sat around the bonfire and you told a story.
Yeah.
That is what D&D is,
Mm.
except you all get to be the heroes of the story.
Yes.
Yeah. That is essentially what it is. And I think it's even been popping up more and more in popular culture, like during the past years.
Yeah, I think so.
D&D
Yeah.
playing, yeah. And I mean, I don't think you should underestimate it or just, write it out as, oh, this is the thing that nerds do in their mom's basement and
Yeah.
nobody else should play it. It's really a thing for more people than just that. And I mean, if you have the possibility and you can find some people who want to play and,
Mm.
game master, you should go for it.
Yeah,
It's
this
really
is the
something.
game you play with a select group of people.
Yeah, exactly. And
That,
you
sort
usually
of-
have a longer campaign and
Yeah, it sort of
Spend some time.
advances in your in sort of complexity
yeah.
as you go along.
Yeah, exactly. And you need more time to develop good characters. Like the whole game, the whole role playing set of rules is developed to make good characters. You're supposed to role play. It's not just about killing creatures and going into a dungeon and swiping and slashing left and right.
Yeah,
It's about
yeah.
building a character that has morals and values and weaknesses and flaws that affect your decision making. It's about what you do as that character and not just what you can kill with the character. It's not about min-maxing, it's about character development. So yeah, that's an important thing if you decide to play. Play it as a role-playing character. What do you call that? Like when you play on a stage, role-playing. Theater. Theater game.
Okay.
Yeah, I just lost that word for a second, or more than a second. Well, yeah, it's like theater play, except you make your own story.
Right.
It's like
Yes.
it's like mixing the bonfire story with theater,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's
Yes.
it's super good. I would definitely recommend it. We've been trying to start a new campaign just through the summer
That's right.
where I have to be the dungeon master. That's a new experience for me, but yeah, and then you get to play in it.
Yes.
So hopefully we have the first scenario with you in it
Yeah.
this week.
Today we
Then-
built my character.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
a fighter,
A fighter.
Goliath.
Goliath. Yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he doesn't even have a name yet,
No.
which is a flaw in our
Maybe.
character building.
Maybe David
David.
from David and the Goliath, but
Oh, that's a fun reference.
yeah.
All right, but yeah, it's very good.
Mm.
I would definitely recommend it if you can find people to play.
Yeah.
And then we've got Battlestar Galactica. Whew. Okay, this is a game that's discontinued, so you can't even really get it. Hopefully they might be releasing a second edition of the game. Hopefully, we hope that. But so far as now, you can't really get it. I think if you wanted to get a base game right now, it would cost way over 1,000 kroner. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's super expensive.
Yeah,
But if
I
you
see.
know somebody who has the game, it's a good game. And I'm saying this despite the game being completely rigged and the odds being stacked like 90 to 10% in the favor of one team. Just because the game and the story and decision making is still very fun in the game, despite knowing that you probably will either win on one team or lose on the other team. But that only makes the glorious victory of winning on the 10% team all the more satisfying. But yeah, it is a very good game despite being rigged very much in one direction.
All right.
Now we've got Secret Hitler.
Well, I haven't played this one,
No.
but from what you've told me, it's sort of like Ultimate Werewolf.
Yeah, it's an Ultimate Werewolf-esque game.
But
You have
more
an
advanced.
identity, like a secret identity. Either you're a liberal or a fascist. In a German Nazi Germany.
Yeah, that just makes it all that much more fun.
Yeah, it's super good. And then the goal for the liberals is to enact enough liberal policies to win, and the goal of the fascists is to elect Hitler as the chancellor.
Oh, that's great.
Yeah, good history for you there.
Nice.
Yes. And whichever side does that first wins. And so you have some amount of liberals and some amount of fascists. And I
Mhm.
think it's generally more liberals than fascists. And then, you do the thing where you re-elect presidents each turn. Then you elect a chancellor each turn for each president. And then those two people get some cards that they secretly choose. And then they pass them on to each other. And then the last card that is left when they have removed cards is the policy that gets elected. And then, maybe they elect a liberal or a fascist policy, and then, you throw on words and threats and accusations about who they might be and what they might do and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fun game. It's about speaking and being charismatic and trying to speak for yourself the best you can. So, kind of like Ultimate Werewolf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, is it similar in like player counts that you need?
No. This game you need way less people.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I mean, if you can play like 5 to 8 people in this game.
Mm. Yeah,
So,
that
you
just
don't-
makes it more accessible, I guess.
Yeah, because Ultimate Werewolf you need,
Yeah.
I mean, at least 12 people to have a good game.
Yeah, to make it fun.
Yeah.
Else it's, rather easy to end the game. And
Yeah, a little dull. Yeah.
yeah. Well,
Next
next
game.
we have Puerto Rico.
Oh.
This is a game I played, so
Yeah, you can take
so
this
we
one.
can take it. All right. So it's a plantation sort of based game.
Yeah, this is a
it's-
resource management game.
This is a resource management game. It's rather fun because you get to experience a lot of different things, both sort of trading and just strategic sort of advancement in the game. There are these elements or resources that you have to sort of monopolize on.
Yeah, crops.
Crops,
Yeah.
yeah, crops. Everything from tobacco to like cocoa beans and sugar and whatever. And then you get to sort of earn based on your crops, and I believe it's based on earnings that you in order to win, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, you have a colony in Puerto Rico.
Mm.
And then you build various structures on your colony, and
Yeah.
you build farms. What is that called?
Plantation.
Fields,
Yeah.
plantations, things. Yeah, where you can grow your crops,
Yeah.
and all these buildings you build give you various abilities and
Yeah. That's how.
potentialities that you can
Yeah.
use in the game. Then you do all this, and then you get all these resources, these crops harvested, and then you ship them off. Then you get experience points for that. You can sell them to get coins to build buildings to get more experience points. And
Yeah.
all these sorts of things. And then it's about acquiring the most experience points at the end of the game.
Yeah.
Yes. So it's also a resource management game, and it's super fun.
This one we also played with my parents.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I don't think they did as well on
No,
this one.
this we actually did the best.
Yeah.
And the reason was because I think they being sort of noobs to to strategic games,
Yeah, this one is more difficult
they
to
didn't
acquire.
they didn't really grasp the importance of the upgradable cards that you purchase at like the start and during the game. And at the start we bought a card that said that you get more a worker with every plantation or field you get.
Yeah.
And that greatly improved because
Yeah.
you need workers in order to produce crop
Yeah.
that you get each turn. That set them back quite a bit, and
Yeah.
that's where we had sort of advanced because we understood sort of the the greatness of it.
Yeah, that basic part, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I mean, if they were to play it a second or third time,
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, they'd do much better.
Yeah.
But yeah, this one is a little more complicated, but not that much. I would say it is a medium
Yeah,
game
there are
too.
different routes, I guess, to take with sort of the upgradable cards, but yeah.
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 But yeah, it's a very good one. I would recommend it. Then we've got Catan. This is one of the easier ones, the simple ones.
Yeah.
You've played it too, right?
I don't think so, no.
Really? You never played it? Okay then.
Sorry.
Okay.
I think
Okay.
it's an app as well. I'm not sure.
Yeah, I think it's a computer and mobile game too.
Yeah.
But this one is a very simple one. I mean, if you're just getting started with board games, this one is like it's basically like a more advanced Monopoly. And we said that about Acquire too, but I think this one is easier than Acquire.
Yeah.
It's essentially about you have a little map, then you have various tiles that produce various resources that you need for building buildings and cities and roads between those cities. And then wherever you have your cities and towns, you get production from around that town's tiles.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well.
And those productions are determined by dice rolls that happen each turn. So there's still an element of randomness in the game. Yeah. And that's basically what the game is. You try to reach the most victory points first. I don't remember what the number is, but I think you have to reach 10 or 11 or 12 or something like that victory points, then the game ends.
Yeah.
And you do that by building your buildings and getting some status tokens that give you victory points, and that is basically it. It's a very simple game, and you can teach somebody to play it in 5 minutes. It's super duper easy, but it's a good starting game.
That does sound interesting. Yeah.
It is a good starting game. There's not so much strategy to it, but it's a good starter. I would say. I have gotten tired of it. I don't really like to play it anymore. I mean, I'll play it once in a while if somebody wants to, but it doesn't have very much strategic depth. Oh my god, depth. So if you're more advanced, I would not recommend this game. But if you're just starting out, it is a good starter. Yeah. And then, okay, before we do that one, we got Scythe. Scythe is also, I would say, a medium game. It is more strategically advanced than Catan, and about on the same level as Puerto Rico. Yeah, it's about planning ahead and managing what you want to do on your following turns and having a plan for where you want to go. This one is about gathering your resources and doing some hits on your opponent to disrupt their resources, and yeah, building up the most points through that manner. Then you can do that through various upgrades on the actions you can take and enlisting different recruits that help you gain resources when you and your opponents do actions.
Yes.
And that makes it a very good game. It's strategically dense, but not so much that it's, well, what would you say? Unbearable. That's what I was looking for. Yeah, it is tough to play the first game though. I remember when I played it the first time, and I mean, pretty much nobody at the table knew what the best strategy was or what to do in that game. So it was very much just on pure gut instinct and yeah, a little random who won. But the second game was very good and people had a much better understanding of what was going on. So I mean, this is a game where the first game is quite bad, but the second game is really good. But yeah, that's Scythe. Very good recommendation too. And we got an honorable mention. It's my love. Oh,
Oh my god.
I love this game. This is it's unfortunately a discontinued game. It's Star Wars, the living card game, and it is sort of like Magic the Gathering, as you can you play it with a group of friends over a longer period of time.
Yeah.
And what makes the game great is the many possibilities you have in a game. You can build a lot of decks that are great and viable in gameplay, and that's always been the game's strength. You can do so many things that'll be good in game, and it's not so much based on your deck building skills, but on your game playing skills in the game, because there's so many various strategically depthful situations that will occur in the game that require utmost brain power to navigate through them. And that's what I loved about the game. But unfortunately, it is discontinued now. So, I mean, there might be places selling out of the game, in which case you can get the game very cheaply, actually.
Yeah. Probably.
Yeah.
But I mean, you were pretty good at the game.
Oh yeah,
you were European Scandinavian champion.
Yeah, I was Scandinavian champion.
Yeah.
I mean, I played 3 tournaments in total, and I won all 3 of them. So yeah, I have a pretty good record in the game. So yeah, I'm the last Scandinavian champion.
Really?
Yeah, last one.
Oh, that is a title to behold.
Yeah. Last reigning
That is
Scandinavian
something.
champion.
That is something.
Yes. Yeah. It is a bit of a shame that it was discontinued though, because the game was freaking amazing. Like, I mean, the gameplay of this game beats Magic the Gathering's gameplay any day of the week.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Any day. I would much rather play this game. But the game wasn't as appealing, unfortunately. Or something. And also the collectible aspect of the game isn't present, because the way you get the cards is by buying some predetermined packs, so you know what you get, which I actually like very much, because you know what you get when you buy the packs.
Yeah.
But it removes the collectible aspect of the game, where you buy a booster pack and you have to be excited about what you get. And that's actually surprisingly a very big strength of card games. People like that uncertain but excited feeling. But yeah, that's unfortunate for this game. It was discontinued. So, but hey, if you might be able to collect that game and get a hold of it for cheaply, you should try it. It is very, very good. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's all the games we have
For this sign off.
Yeah. I mean, it was a lot of games too. It took some time.
Yeah, I think it took just as much time as the actual
The actual
episode.
episode.
Yeah.
We did a lot of explaining too.
Yeah.
Also, my voice is
But hopefully-
draining out. So
Hopefully a lot of the viewers, the 22 viewers, can.
oh yeah, we had like 19 views in the last episode or something.
Yeah,
Oh my god.
It's increasing.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Really decent.
Yeah. I mean, I'm surprised.
Yeah.
And then we just didn't upload anything for a month.
Yeah, not really good.
No, it really isn't.
We're disappointing our viewers. Or
Yeah. My mom.
yeah,
Oh no, she doesn't watch this.
your dogs.
Yeah, my dogs. Oh, my little cuties.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, also, summer sale is going on Steam. And we got Terraria.
Yes.
We're going to play the shit out of that game.
I
I have
mean,
no idea how good it is, but
maybe tonight.
it's fun. Yeah. You're bringing your PC to...
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, obviously.
Summer
You're getting
house.
picked up from here and going directly, right?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, maybe we should. Or at least like during the week
Hmm.
at some point. We have to try it.
Yeah.
And if not that, then Endless Space.
Yes. That
Yeah.
we have to try.
Yeah, exactly.
Different Wi-Fi's. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, That's us talking about games. Yeah, we do a lot of nerdy things.
Do you know what we have planned for next episode?
Oh yeah,
I'm actually not sure.
I thought it was
Is it something to do with habits?
yeah,
again?
it's also something with habits. It's
Yeah.
about specific habits and bad habits, on both ends, good and bad habits that we find to be impeding or advantageous.
Oh right, yeah.
Yeah.
So sort of a personal take, I guess.
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
precisely. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, this
Well,
these two past episodes, this one and the past one, was more generalized and
Mm.
like what do you want to do, how should you look for the good and bad habits and how to remove or implement them. And the next one is more about what we find to be good habits and what we find to be bad habits and personal
Yeah.
things we had to overcome.
Mm.
Yeah, and personal things we're undergoing at this moment.
Yes.
And hopefully we can do that soon. I mean, if we do the role playing this weekend, we should meet up and do the episode because we cannot keep this away for another month. No, we can't do that. We cannot do that. We owe it to get these episodes out because we have so much to talk about.
Yes.
Yeah. And then we also have to do the planning for the episodes after because I haven't done that yet.
Yeah, we can do that.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's all.
That's to wait in the future.
Yes.
So.
That's like 3 months in the future. So. No. It isn't. It isn't.
Don't worry.
Don't go away. Hopefully soon.
Yeah.
But
But
that's it. So
thanks for now.
yeah, thanks for watching and take care under these very weird and tumultuous times. Yeah.
It's definitely unique, I guess.
Yeah. I mean, Denmark has been getting out of it quite nicely. I mean, they're
Yeah,
opening up
swiftly,
to
yeah.
200 people can gather. I think Rasmus just texted me on August 8th or something like that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we can hold the big events again soon.
That's good.
Yeah, that's really good. Yeah, we're excited for that.
Mm.
So yeah, I mean, it's getting better here, and I think it's getting better pretty much all over the world. I think
Well,
not all over. I mean, USA is
I think
still
the
pretty
US still got
pretty
got
hit
it
by
bad.
it. Yeah, but I mean, it's getting better. It's getting better.
yeah.
Mostly everywhere. Mostly.
I think it's hard to see an end to it until we have a vaccine, because it will never go away.
Yeah, but
Will
I mean,
always
if we
be
even get a
present.
vaccine, isn't there
Yeah.
some people who say that we just like you can't vaccine against the common cold, you can vaccine against this?
That's true. Yes.
Yeah.
I mean, it will definitely go through different mutations, and it has already
Yeah.
mutated. But I think the goal with one specific vaccine is sort of to strengthen one's immune system.
Yeah.
You still get vaccines for different types of influenza, which the coronavirus is a type of influenza, and I think the common cold is as well. But it's in order to strengthen your immune system so that you can better handle different mutations of the
Yeah.
vaccine or of the disease. Sorry.
That's at least the goal of the vaccine.
Yeah.
Although obviously, whenever you put something like that in your body, it also has various what do you call them?
Side effects.
Bad quality side effects. Yeah.
Yeah.
But that's always how it is. I mean, it has
Yeah.
good things and bad things.
I mean, I have no problem with the vaccines. I like them.
Yeah.
I love them.
I love them.
No, I don't. No,
Yeah, I won't even. I mean, I won't say I like them or love them or hate them or despise them or whatever.
Are you anti-vaccine?
Nah, I don't know. I don't know what I am.
Oh,
I don't have an opinion.
okay, fair enough.
I haven't researched it, man. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, but if I were to put something like that in my body, man, you better show me the evidence that it's good, because goddamn, I'm not just going to do it. But yeah, whatever. Another digression. But yeah, okay, I think we're done now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
God damn.
yeah. Thank you so much for watching. It's been an honor to have you on the
an
show
honor.
today. And take care.
Hopefully you'll, sort of do some thinking towards your bad habits and
Yeah,
what you can change about them.
yeah. Just start noticing them.
Yeah.
That's the first step. And when you think you're ready, start doing something about it. And most importantly, be honest to yourself.
Mm.
That's the most important thing. Be honest about how much you can handle and how much progress you should make.
Yeah.
Yes. That's our word of advice for today. So
Thank
that's
you,
it.
y'all.
Yes. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next episode.
Goodbye.